Okay, Councilman Bittner, Councilman Oakes are absent. Mayor Horwittle is absent. I will be acting as the mayor. Recognition of guests. Anybody like to come forward? Everything. Can I have a motion to accept council minutes from October 1st?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Payment of the bills. Can I have a motion to approve the bills?
Second.
Debbie, any changes? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Can BPA there, bills are there for your information. Can I have a motion to accept the fiscal officer's report?
Second.
Any changes, Deb? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We don't have any old business. We do have new business. We have a new employee. And I need you to say your last name because I know I'll screw it up. Moraldo. Okay, Chrissy Moraldo. Welcome. And so glad you came tonight and looking forward to working with you.
Here's Caroline.
Pardon me?
I'm here just to make sure I get.
Okay.
Smart.
Well, I would like to have a motion. Can I have a motion to accept Chrissy as a new employee and her effective date was October 23rd.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Item 2 is the electric aggregate is up for renewal. Debbie and I have been working with Community Energy. That's our consultant. We've been watching the pricing in that, and they're looking at the pricing. And what we have to do is, we're down to Safe Harbor, and Safe Harbor is who we had the agreement with before. So it's basically going to be an addendum to the current contract. It's not going to be a new contract. It's not going to be a new service provider. They've put all of it out for bid, and Safe Harbor has been coming back with the best pricing. But what we have to do is have a motion for either myself or the mayor to sign the agreement. And what we do is we get the agreement on that day, because that pricing is only good for 24 hours. And then we have to move on it. So what we wanted to do is take today and basically authorize myself or the mayor to enter into agreement. And then once we do, we'll share that with you at the next meeting. So can I have a motion and a second to authorize the mayor or myself to enter into an agreement?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And what that'll be is, depending on the pricing, we'll look at the term as far as the agreement as well. So we'll come up with the best agreement for the village residents. Item 3 is basically to let the salary committee know to start putting together the information so that we have that, so that we can start making some recommendations in that. So you and Greg start working on that.
Yep.
Item 4, Julie has some information she would like to share. I'll turn it over to Julie.
Try to make it brief. We met, so a little background history quickly is Barb DeJure from the city of Medina put in paperwork for the city of Medina become an ambassador and a grant for the solar eclipse in April 8th, 2024. She didn't ever think she would get the money. She did. So the city of Medina is now an ambassador of this eclipse that's coming. It's one of those things where once you get named, you're expected to do some things. So they are working with other community, the chamber, other partners, park district and everything to put on different programs, the schools for this eclipse. The biggest thing is that it is Medina County is in the path of totality. So what they're saying is that it's going to bring people. With that, it could be one of two things. We can prepare for a bunch of people influx that day and that weekend to come in, or it could be honestly a nothing burger. The county sent out I think it's the second version now of a emergency management plan. I sent it out to everybody. It's something that obviously I think we could talk about as we get closer to. I believe that we don't need to throw a party or anything here, but my guess is since we are on the highway, if it is going to be an influx of people are going to look at the small town off the highway and think, and see our park here and think possibly a good place to come view it. So that's something we might want to discuss. We might want to even get in touch with Westfield Insurance and see if they want to keep people at home that day since they do remote, because they're saying traffic's gonna be terrible. If there is a ton of people, they're talking cell service probably won't be happening. They're talking fill up on gas and grocery store, do all that ahead of time. So I think it's something that we tell the community about and update as we get closer. That's the gist of it. There is a lot of information that's being put out there. That's the abridged version. I'd say next month we bring it up and see maybe what we want to do, Dave, with the park. Yeah, absolutely.
To that end, part of the information that we're talking about, one of the stats that they put out is, I think 70% of the population in a day's driving distance of Ohio, and
Yes.
this event, when it's happened at other places, has inundated local services, first responders. You know, not necessarily that there's rioting and those kind of things, but emergency of people, you have people that these other places that pop up campsites and trash and probably emergency care well. So it could be for nothing, or it could be a very challenging
weekend.
I've already reached out to Greg Loftus over at the company. We're gonna have some discussion. Meeting he wants to talk. He was not really. He was aware of it, but not aware of it. So he's going to talk to some people. Going to have some discussion, because if it is the worst case scenario, our go-to is the sheriff's office whenever we have a large event.
Right.
But if it gets that big, I'm sure the sheriff's office is going to be challenged throughout the county. We need to think about some alternative support.
So will you have some conversations with Terry and?
Yeah, going forward, any of the meetings that they have, I'm going to stay in touch with Terry as far as like that. He's not said anything to that end that they won't. Obviously, if they're available, they will be. I'm just thinking that if it's a big thing for us, it's probably a big thing for the rest of the county.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And their resources are going to be spread.
Okay.
So if Greg can have all his security force on, and I'm not saying that they are agreed to at this point, but that's what I'm, to my end, I'm hoping to do it.
EMS and fire with volunteer, obviously overstaffed that day if it's possible. Talk about all of those situations. So that's the short, long version.
Well, it's great that we're thinking about this,
Yes.
because it's better to be prepared for something than not be prepared, and at least have a plan. And if we don't have to implement it, that's okay.
Absolutely.
But if we don't have a plan and we have to implement something, we're gonna be in trouble.
So I'd say probably every month touch base about it and see where we're at.
Okay. And you can kind of do, work your end then, Chad. And
You do what you do.
figure out.
I'm thinking it's a good time to think about retirement.
We'll talk about that in May.
Right? Okay, how about April 9th?
All right. That was all of the old business. Our engineers, the engineer has wants to present their plan for the Greenwich Road slope, but we postponed them until the mayor and also both our council members are back, because I think it's a very large project. It's going to be it's going to be it's something that everybody needs to hear and be on board with. We didn't feel comfortable with making any decisions without a full council here and the mayor. So we postponed Jason to come to the December meeting and present their plan, and then that way everybody can hear what's going on. So, police department.
For October, we have 3 reports, 5 calls for service, and 5 officer initiated calls for 10. 26 officer generated citizen assists, 11 vacation watches. We had 9 assists to the sheriff's office, 4 to the Seville Police Department. Traffic stops, no criminal arrests, 7 warnings and 2 citations.
Everybody okay with the crash?
Yeah.
Oh, good. It's not something you hear a lot about in our little town, so, oh, that's good. Any questions for Chad? Fire department report.
Monthly, excuse me, monthly activity report for October, we had a total of 41 runs, 7 to the village, 24 to the township, 1 to Canaan Township, 5 to Seville, and 3 to Lodi. We received mutual aid twice, once from Seville, and then the other was once from Lafayette and Seville for a possible structure fire in the village. And happy to report, it was only a plastic pizza cutter that had melted over the dishwasher heating element. So again, gave mutual aid 10 times. Some department updates. I'll just cover a couple of them. One of the biggest things that we're doing, our staffing crew and myself did, we host tested a total of 5,635 feet at the station. In the past, this was done by a contracted service, but I decided I do not want to do that anymore because it only helps our people full hose, pack hose effectively, knowing how much they carry on the trucks. So that's something that we're going to be doing every year now. 2 fire inspections completed, 1 foster home inspection completed. And then we do have 5 candidates that we're looking to hire. They're still going, they went through the background checks at the MCSO. We received 4 of those back with no issues. We're still waiting on 1 to come back so we can hopefully proceed with those folks. And then we have the annual trick or treat and the trunk or treat at the station. And we'd also like to thank the community for their support, the clam bake. And then there's a new sheet that I added to the report on the last page. I'm going to be updating this regularly. As we submit for grants, I'm going to be listing those, what we submitted for. As of Monday, these were let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 grants. The Otarma and the Moore grant is one of the same. So we submitted for $61,439.44 for grants. Big chunk of that is obviously the Marks radio system for all our radios. That includes the user fees, new batteries for all of our current radios, 3 or 4 new radios, some pagers, and some vehicle repeaters. The feed grant, which is a firefighter exposure to environmental elements grant, that is for turnout gear, for 3 sets of just the garments only. When I say garments, just the coat pants. That's not a full set. And then Black & Decker had one that they want to, it's actually not a grant, it's more, they call it a donation. They want to give us $2,300 worth of battery operated tools and stuff like that. So we submitted for that. And then the Latarma and Moore grant through the Ohio Township Association for $1,500. And we're going to use that for some additional safety equipment such as helmets. Any questions on that?
how'd you make out on the clam bake? Was it profitable for you?
It was.
Good.
It's unfortunately the prices, seafood's gone up.
Oh, yeah.
So, we got a lot of,
The profit margin went down.
yeah, so we gotta do a lot of soul searching for next year to
It should be
see.
barbecue.
Yeah. It was good. It was very good.
Well, good. Well, thank
Yep.
you. And again, appreciate the community support.
So I'll be curious to hear what the township trustees are, their plans for the fire levy.
Right.
So let's kind of see how that's gonna go, but. Okay. Superintendent's report, Dave.
Yeah, October's report, we processed 4.38 million gallons of wastewater. The monthly reports from all required and operational testing and performed all routine equipment maintenance. For Village Hall, we winterized the fountain and the irrigation system. Streets performed maintenance on the equipment, mowed all village properties, performed nuisance animal control, and got a leaf pickup. Cemetery, we had one burial for 1 footer. We winterized the options at the park, and I issued 4 citations.
Full swing for leaf pickup, huh?
Timing was impeccable on our street, so thank you. He goes 2 hours. My husband said he was not leaving. I would give sure. It's like a personal pickup.
Any questions for Dave? Mayor's report, there was nothing from Mayor's Court. There's a communication in there about, from the OML update, proposed employer increases. There's no comments and concerns from residents. Law Director.
Nothing to add to anything. I think we're, well, I have the proposal here from the engineers from OHM.
Right.
So I just was realizing I haven't looked over that. So I was going to look over the contract. Obviously I had a next month's discussion, but beyond that, nothing much to add.
Okay. Council comments and concerns. Mr. Bittner's absent. Val?
Committee for the tree lighting ceremony, we had our last meeting on Monday, and everything's full speed ahead for the November 24th ceremony, so hopefully we'll see you there.
Should we start decorating?
No, decorating will start the week of the
I
20th.
know there's a green.
It looks like the greenery and the bows are on, right?
The light systems are in place.
Oh, that's a green.
The tree will be delivered on the 20th, so we'll be all set and ready to go.
Who's the MC this year?
Good morning.
Oh,
And then we have, Rose Devoda is going to do the countdown, and she'll share a Christmas story or whatever.
Okay.
for the countdown. So,
and Santa, Mr. and Mrs. Claus are gonna be here?
Mr. and Mrs. Claus going to be here.
Is their parade, is that the parade too with golf carts? Is that not?
That's not gonna happen. this
Okay,
year.
okay.
No,
Golf
the
carts
committee
move
decided-
south.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the committee decided that
They're in
was
Florida.
not.
They're in Florida.
That was just such a very Westfield touch.
I
It
was-
really was. Yeah.
Was one touch, but the committee said they thought it was not a value add,
I see.
so it will not happen this year.
Really? Mr. Oaks is absent. I have nothing. Mr. Walkup. Sure.
Thank you to Chrissy for helping, that we had for the same. Thank you.
So our next meeting is Tuesday, December 7th. We're back on our normal Tuesday, 7 PM. There's no need for an executive session. And I have a motion to adjourn. Tuesday, December, oh, I'm sorry, 5th. Yep. Good catch. Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Bye.
Any opposed?